All right, so we're back tonight with some ridiculous climate change articles. People that actually think they're making a difference. The war on drive-thrus has begun. Mari brought this to my attention tonight. Drive-thrus have had their moment, namely the 1950s, when there were apparently nothing better to eat than processed meat and partially gelatined, non-dairy, gum-based beverages lightly tossed out the window to you. Thankfully, we as a society have moved past this terrible time and now have a plethora. This guy wastes a little bit of time here. He's really not a fan of fast food, so this is kind of biased. But reading this article, the more I read it, they are in this part of Minnesota. They are going to ban any future drive-thrus to be built on any restaurants or any kind of building that would be able to function with a drive-thru. And why? Well, here's why. They're talking about drive-thru increases vehicle idling time, which in turn increases emissions. In 2012, Canadian newspaper The Globe and Mail reported that idling in a drive-thru line, of course, this was about Tim Hortons, and again, this guy really does not like fast foods, but anyway, for 10 minutes with a 3-liter engine uses about 0.06 gallons of gas. That might not sound like much, but as of 2017, McDonald's said 70% of U.S. sales are drive-thru windows. Now, what I found interesting is that this article uses McDonald's as an example of how much their drive-thru sales are. And oh, watch out. And this was a very, very, very eye-opening link as well. This talks about McDonald's that is now looking to do mobile apps and pre-order. Basically, they're going to have a curbside service to help speed up drive-thru times. My opinion, you'll see more vehicles enter your parking lot with more CO2. This will speed up drive-thru times indeed, but I think it will also increase business to an already robust 70%. That could get even higher. I mean, I don't know about you guys. A lot of us folks, if we stop at a place like McDonald's, that means we're really on the run and we don't have the time to make a decent meal, I guess. A lot of people don't like even going inside the restaurants anymore. Now, most of them are starting to have the kiosks. They want you to order your own food, do it yourself. Take the pickles off, take the onions off, you do it. I'm not doing it. So that's a turn off in my opinion. I think when you go out to eat, part of the experience is the customer service, and you're paying for that when you're paying $12, $14, $15 a plate of food when you go to a restaurant. And even when you go to a McDonald's and you're spending $9, $10 a per meal, value meal, you still expect a little bit of customer service, but they're taking it all away if you want to eat inside. I'll give them a little credit. They have developed where the kiosk thing has paid off is that now you take a number, sit down at your table, and they will bring you the order to you. So that's a pretty fair trade-off. Be nice to see the price go down too and discount, because technically you don't need a front cashier anymore, so we could start doing away with that, right? Is that the plan? Anywho, just interesting to see that places like McDonald's are going to make it more convenient for outdoor sales. That means you're going to be using your vehicle. So, in other words, the drive-thru times will go down, but will the idle time go down from a vehicle's engine in a parking lot when you look at the overall picture of CO2? So just an interesting example they used, because I wanted to pick this apart when it showed us that they're offering a curbside pickup. But also, Mari brought this up too. What about all these places like Skip the Dishes and Grubhub? And I'm sure I'm forgetting some of the other major ones. But Uber Eats. All these major companies that will go out, pick it up, bring it to your home. Now, we don't have to get out and do it ourselves. We can have other people do it for us. So, as these kinds of businesses pick up, it doesn't even out when you think about all these services that will deliver now. There's like, it used to be just Chinese food and pizza, okay? And now it's Chinese food, pizza, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, you name it, you can get it. I remember moving to Buffalo a couple years ago, and one of my favorite fast food restaurants, I do enjoy a burger from O'Reilly's, or some of you folks know them as Checkers. And I was shocked that I could get that delivered to me in Buffalo. Being from Southwest Ohio, you gotta get your ass up and go down the street and go get it. But it's easy to get stuck in this, you know what, let's order some Olive Garden night, or let's order some this, or let's order from Chip's Diner or whatever, and these companies will go and pick it up. So instead of like making it less convenient to order out and drive to the drive-thru, people are staying home and not burning their own fuel, but they're paying other people to drive out and burn their fuel, which right now, this business is flourishing. So now we've got a decent percentage of people out there who are adding to this supposed CO2 output because of delivery services now being offered to some of these fast food restaurants. So the reason why I brought all that up in the first place is this whole idea of drive-thrus being abolished because of climate change, because they want to help fight climate change. I mean, do you see what's happening here, guys? Now, this doesn't mean they're going to go through and destroy all current buildings. I mean, if AOC had her way, that's what she would do. She would just rip all the buildings down and make everybody tear out the drive-thrus. But they're modifying the way business is being done in the future, moving forward, starting in September and forward. Actually, I'm getting my articles mixed up. This is actually starting this weekend. The ban officially begins this weekend. You know, how much further are we going to see this go? Is my question. Minneapolis City Council is who's going. So this is not just a dime box Iowa type city here. This is a major city in Minnesota. I'm going to read her quote here. This is from a radio report, public radio report. Council President Lisa Bender says the city has already been limiting them. We've already restricted drive-thrus over the years in a number of ways through pedestrian-oriented overlay districts and other tools. There's a map included in the materials allowed in today's, and it's actually quite limited today, but this just says that we will not have any new drive-thrus in the future. Proponents of the ban hope it will cut down on vehicle noise, idling, and make sidewalks safer. Okay, I'm down with killing the noise, but again, curbside. If that's being offered, people are still going to be driving to the restaurant to pick up their food and leave. The car does not turn off. Maybe it's quicker, but there's going to be more vehicles traveling, and then maybe, just maybe, where they used to have long drive-through waits, now they're going to have long curbside waits. So more cars are going to be sitting in the parking lot waiting for their food because people like the idea of ordering it on their mobile device, driving there, waiting for it, and then leaving. If it's in the wintertime, the car stays on. You got to keep the heat on, right? Same thing if you're in the deep south. So again, another stupid idea from the left, from the AGW, that thinks it's going to help fight climate change. And no matter what they do or say, I'm sorry to say this, it's not going to. Now, it may help with clean breathing air. And I'm definitely for that as well. But these folks aren't doing this for cleaner air. They're trying to jump on the Green New Deal policy bandwagon. They want in on this giant profiting scheme. And oh yes, a scheme it is.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.